Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio,
where we go to the
To the
Hollywood.
movies.
Oh yes, to the movie. Let's all go to the movies. That's what we're doing today. We're going around the movies.
Yeah.
And we're getting snacks in between the movies.
Sure.
And by snacks we mean full table service.
Well, we're doing everything.
Meals.
The whole shebang.
Oh my, yeah. Actually, can we start over? I literally thought we were doing the other video for Hollywood Studios for some reason. I don't know why my mind was there.
That's okay. I think we could have worked it, but it's okay.
We probably could have, but we're so early in. All right. 3. Hi, Patreon. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
Where today we're going to the movies.
Yeah.
Today we are doing another installment of our Must Do Magic series, where we're kind of recommending one of everything for each of the 4 theme parks at Walt Disney World. And today we are in one of our personal favorites, Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, hooray for Hollywood.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Or, as I still sometimes call it, MGM.
MGM, yeah. We are definitely children of MGM who really enjoyed that park in all of its forms from, the 90s till now. So, it's changed a lot.
It has changed a lot.
But it's still near and dear to us,
Yeah, I've got appreciation for what it is now, but gosh, I guess if I could go back in time.
Just for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. I know you would be watching the Osborne family
spectacle of the dancing lights. That was my favorite thing of all time back in the day.
Right.
And that's where that was. I loved the backlot sets. We won't get too much into what we missed.
We're getting it out of the way now.
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way. Great movie ride. Oh my gosh.
That's what I would be doing. They would have to pry me off of the great movie ride.
I know. Oh, man.
Luckily, some of our favorites are still around, though.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Well, some of the things on my list, I'm like, oh, this has been here forever. I won't tell you what, but if you're on the visual version of the podcast, you might know what I'm referring to.
Or if you've listened to other podcasts of ours, you might know what some of Jake's favorite.
Just to clue everyone, I'm in a
you're giving it away.
Well, yeah, I don't want to exclude anyone.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want to exclude anyone. I'm wearing a Kermit the Frog cardigan over a Kermit the Frog t-shirt. So,
he might be a big fan.
I'm kind of trying to send a message.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm holding it down.
Yeah.
For the Muppets, really at large. All right. Let's get all of that out of the way so that now we can have a focused discussion.
Okay.
Just kidding, but we're going to do our best. About kind of a little tour of Hollywood Studios based on what we think for each of these questions is the must do. Yeah,
if you get one day in Hollywood Studios, kind of what are our recommendations for each thing?
And I'll ask you first, what is before we jump into this, before I ask you the first question, actually, I do want to say, if you're watching on the visual version of the podcast, hello over there on YouTube. If you could subscribe to the channel and like the video, that would be super
awesome. Helpful.
Yeah, and if you're on the audio version of the podcast, if you want to subscribe to the show so that you see when new episodes are being posted, and if you want to leave us a review, letting us know if you've enjoyed the show, then that would be awesome. Helps us out a lot. So
yeah,
that would be
cool.
If
you want free family trip shirts for your next vacation for Disney or a cruise or whatever you plan to do, I am a travel agent, and if you send me a message at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com, I can talk to you about how if you'd let me at least minimum help just book your trip, you can get free t-shirts from me.
Ooh.
And it'll cost the same as if you did it yourself. At maximum, I can book all your stuff. If you're dining, I can give you tips, tricks. I can help you with Genie Plus, the whole shebang. So up to you. But neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com is how to reach me to begin with. Then we can exchange contact information.
All right. With all of that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our Hollywood Studios must-dos.
Yes.
Morgan, what is your must-do photo opportunity when it comes to Hollywood Studios?
So my must-do photo opportunity kind of goes back to this conversation we've had a couple times about what we think the icon of the park should be. You know, they have the icon of the park as the Tower of Terror building, right? Yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
And certainly that's iconic. But to me, if I got to pick an icon of the park, since the Eiffel Tower is not even there anymore, I would
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I would pick the Grauman's Chinese Theater replica.
A logical choice.
So it really makes sense to me for like the movies and the theming, and now maybe they're going away from the, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
I think it's iconic. It's been there since the very beginning. It's very Hollywood to me, and I think the pictures in front of it can be phenomenal if you can get a good one.
Yeah, it's a little complicated in front of that space to take a good picture, because you want to be far enough away from it
that you're not getting the like
that you
shrubbery or whatever.
That you like have it in the background.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be. But if you go too far back, then you're like in bushes and you're, up on a platform thing. So it can be tricky to get it. Are there any recommended angles that you have?
I have seen some good angles, like kind of from the side in like that round.
The like mouth of the courtyard.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But I mean, and I know this is going to be, I don't know, maybe controversial, because if you're rope dropping, the first thing you want to do is go straight for a line.
Yeah.
But if you can rope drop or stay till the end, like to get less crowds, then you can get a good shot there.
Yeah.
Or if it's a not as busy day, if you have a restaurant reservation at the end of your night, and then you're one of the last people to get out of there, if you could take a really quick picture, then you might be able to get a good one.
I have a similar recommendation, actually.
Okay.
And that's if you're looking for the perfect picture with one of the newer kind of icons of Hollywood Studios, which is the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
It's the same kind of deal.
That was my backup. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you can stick around for later in the day as the crowds are kind of thinning out toward the end of the night, then yes, there will still be people there, but a lot less. And there's kind of a large perimeter around the Falcon. So, you could maybe take some good pictures from a couple different angles and not have people in the shot.
And it's beautifully lit at night.
And if you have one of those cool lightsaber things, good for you for having $200 for that, first of all. And second of all, can I hold it at nighttime for a photo shoot with the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
That's what I recommend. I think those pictures always, I see people taking them when I'm walking past there at night. I'm like, those are going to be really good pictures. Yeah. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah. Good one. Good one.
Okay. Yeah. I think those were both pretty good.
I think those two, I think, come out better than pictures in front of the Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. There's just always going to be a ton of people in those pictures, too.
Yeah.
The Tower of Terror pictures.
Well, you really have to work it.
Yeah, because that's also where, like, Fantasmic is. So no matter what, that area is always crowded.
Yes.
All right. Now that we've taken a great photo, Mom, I'm hungry. I want a snack. Hollywood Studios has a lot of options as far as snacks go, but if I could pick one that would be my must-do snack right now, it would be the tachos over at Woody's Lunchbox.
Really?
In Hollywood Studios in Toy Story Land. I think we got them recently,
and I posted about them on Instagram, but I gave my opinion, which isn't quite the same as Jake's opinion.
Oh, I don't know. I really enjoyed them as like
I think they're fine.
They're like a classic, like, unhealthy snack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like carbs and cheese and it's like crazy. But like if you're sharing it with someone, I thought the flavors were like delightful.
Yeah. I mean,
what did you think?
What I said when I posted it is they're good, but to me, not great. But I think that my issue is that I'm not a big chili person.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind greasy garbage food. You know what I mean?
And that's what's on the menu.
Yeah, that's what's on the menu there. That's not my issue with it. I just didn't think it was $10.99 worthy, which is the price.
It is overpriced. That's
because
why
it's tater tots.
If you're gonna get this, it's a pretty big bucket, so you need to share it with someone. Do not pay $10.99 for like a full. I would never pay $10.99 for a full size one again, because they are good, but they're not, like you said, they're not $10.99.
Right.
Good.
Right. And I think if you ate a whole one, it would fill you up. which
Yes.
is sometimes a good thing. But this would be like a heavy fill up, you might not want to be sprinting around the park anymore after that.
Now, did I eat my bucket? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. And did it feel really heavy when I was walking around the theme park? Yeah.
Maybe.
Did I think to myself, I should not have eaten that entire bucket of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you in the Florida sun, sometimes you make vulnerable choices in vulnerable moments, and that's what I did.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's tater tots and bean and beef chili and Fritos and cheese and sour cream and green onion.
Makes me want another one, to be honest.
Yeah, high sodium, which again
It was extremely salty.
Yeah, but a lot of the theme park snacks are.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
That's true. If I didn't have like water or something with it,
Yeah.
oh boy,
Yeah.
that was tough.
But it is good. It's got like kind of a umptuousness, like that
Yes.
kind of an aftertaste.
It
It's
is
lovely.
so savory.
Yeah.
All right, what did you pick?
I put the giant pretzel with beer cheese sauce at Baseline Tap House. It also
Yes.
comes with a whole grain mustard sauce.
Mm-hmm.
This is also shareable.
This is like a Bavarian type of
Yes.
pretzel, isn't it?
Yes,
Cool.
and it's like the size of your head. The beer cheese sauce is what gets me. I love a good beer cheese flavor. So it's both, but the mustard's good too, and I just find it to be a really good
Mm-hmm.
snack.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because Baseline Tap House should be on this list somewhere. Because
Yeah.
I think it's like a really enjoyable place to get like. Now, seating is one thing. If you can get seating in there, then bless you. But
Yeah.
I think I've never had anything I haven't liked from there.
Yeah, it's a little underrated, I'd say.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's newer.
Yeah, and they have like soft drinks as well as like, they've got like a good
They have fun
variety
soft
of
drinks,
stuff.
not just like Coke and stuff like that. I can't remember
Right.
what it was, but we got something really fun.
There's like a black cherry soda or something that you can get there. And there's also like something else that's like a mocktail.
Yeah.
But I don't remember really what they are. But I do remember that some of them, the refills are free, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
They don't do that really in most places at Disney. So
This is also a really good spot to stop and grab an ice water, like a free water, because they have it just out where you can grab a cup and fill it instead of having to
Yes.
wait in line to ask somebody. So that's a good tip. You know what I mean? If you want, I think it's great that Disney gives you free water at any of their quick serve locations.
yeah.
But it can be a time grab, because sometimes you kind of have to stand in line to ask.
Right.
I
fair.
like these locations that have it out like a big jug that you can
With
water.
a spigot.
Yes,
Like
thank you.
that one in Morocco.
Yes, it's just like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Spice
not always
Road
there.
table?
Have you seen it at Baseline? Yes, Spice Road.
I've seen it at Baseline.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it at
I
Baseline.
try to remember that whenever we're back there, and sometimes I forget.
Yeah, it's easy to forget for sure.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good recommendation. When it comes to food, sometimes a snack isn't enough, and it's time for a quick service meal.
Hmm.
Morgan, if you could recommend one, what's your must-do?
Do you not think we're going to have the same?
We might perhaps have the same, but I have a backup.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Mine would be getting a Ronto wrap either at Ronto Roasters or Docking Bay 6.
I can't believe we have the same thing.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I say Ronto Roasters like that's an option because I'm told constantly that's an option. It's never ever been an option when I was there. I've never had a Ronto wrap
Yeah.
or at Ronto Roasters.
They close early, I guess.
I guess they close, yeah, and I feel like we like to go to Hollywood Studios in the evening because we're locals and we park hop or we just get there late to begin
Sure.
with. And one of my favorite things about Hollywood Studios is the lights and the ambiance at night.
Yes.
So when you're going in the late afternoon, evening, you've got to get your Ronto wrap from Docking Bay 6. But
Right.
I love the seating in Docking Bay 6, so I've got no problem with that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool in there. Now, sometimes they seat people a little close together, so that's not always my favorite, but most of the time it works out. Those are only in a couple areas. There are some areas where there's like tables and some where there are like drum type stools that you sit on.
When you say they seat people close together, you just mean the tables are close together.
I do. They're not
They're not
actually
seating
seating
you.
you anywhere, but yeah, I mean they being the people making decisions about how close the tables are
The
together
other
at
guests.
Disney.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are seating people very close together in some of those little corners. But
Mhm.
other than that, I do think the ambiance in there is very cool.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
literally, it's got really nice AC
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
very cool.
because it's big. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's a big seating area.
It is, yeah. That
What's
is
your
also
backup?
my number one. My Backup is Woody's Lunchbox.
Okay. You're going back to the tachos.
Yeah, the tachos are good. There's also like a Pop-Tart thing that was pretty good the one time I tried it.
Yeah.
I nibbled on it.
Yeah.
So, as far as like the consistency and the quality of the offerings go, if it's not Ronto Roasters or Docking Bay, then I would probably say Woody's Lunchbox.
Okay. Real quick, jumping back to the Ronto wraps, just in case this is your first podcast with us. Ronto wraps are like a sausage that has a really lot of flavor with coleslaw, and it's served like in a pita, so it looks kind of like outer worldly, and that it's not your average hot dog. It's got a lot more flavor, and we really like it.
Yeah, it's got a nice peppercorn sauce.
And it's served with like plantain chips. Yes, nice, different. We like it. My issue with Woody's Lunchbox would be the seating.
Agree.
The seating is adorable. Last time we went, we sat on like these what are supposed to look like giant Baby Bell cheeses.
Right.
That was so cute, but it's outdoors and it's crowded and it's really hard to find a seat.
And they're made of fiberglass, so it's not like not like they're soft either.
Right.
They're like
no, yeah, it's like sitting on a park bench.
It's kind of uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be trying this soon. I put it on the list.
Okay.
But ABC Commissary has like a hit and miss kind of menu.
Yeah.
Usually a miss, to be honest.
Yes.
But I've heard that some of the newer stuff that is on the menu is worth giving a shot. So Jake and I will be trying that. And
it's
we'll let
air conditioned in there. I'm down.
Yes, and that seating, I've got to say, is like the next best seating to Docking Bay 6.
Yeah.
Air conditioning, it's huge. It's like
usually not.
You're not going to
totally
not find you're not going to not find a table inside, which is lovely.
Yeah.
There's bathrooms in there.
Yeah. It's one of the ones we never walk into. Backlot Express.
Yeah.
That one, we just never really set foot in those anymore.
Well, we just did. It's funny that you say that.
Oh, Backlot Express? Yeah, it was our first time ever in there together. That was so funny.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think we got waters. I don't think we were in there to like get.
Yeah, we were there to get water
because
and we stuck around to see a Horizons.
Yeah, Easter egg.
Prop. Yeah, that was left in there.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Worth the
But that's not even totally indoors. That's like indoor outdoor, which that hurts your air conditioning.
Yeah, that does bring the temperature up a couple degrees, as any Floridian would tell you.
Yes.
All right. Are you full yet? I hope not, because we've got another meal.
This one was so hard for me.
Oh, really? It was hard. It was a little hard for me. Table service restaurant.
Okay. You go.
Okay, I recommend you must do Mama Melrose.
Okay.
It's an Italian restaurant. It's in the Grand Avenue portion of the park, which is right across the way from Muppet Vision 3D.
California Italian.
It is California Italian, or where California meets Italy in the heart of
Muppetville.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is, yeah. And it's one of my favorite experiences to eat there.
Yeah.
I love it there.
I love it all. I love the ambiance. I love the food.
Brick
I love their marinara.
Yeah, Italian film posters. Lights on strings.
Oh, love string lights.
Wood beams. It's nice. I like it in there. And yeah, like you were saying, like the marinara sauce there is really good, which is, good for Italian food.
Yeah, and we're big on value too. Like I'm not saying like eating cheap, but we want the value of the food to match what we're paying. So this one's great. I don't ever feel like, oh, I can't believe I spent all that money on mediocre food. It's like good food.
Mama would not do that to you.
And it's not that expensive, which is just hard to find, to be honest. This is like a top value option for me. I
heart Mama Melrose and said I want a t-shirt.
Oh, I'll make you a t-shirt.
Roll up the sleeves like I'm in New Jersey.
Heck yeah. Even though it's California. I only am stressing that it's California Italian because forever I thought it was New York Italian. Yeah. Like going to an Italian restaurant in New York.
But don't you think
that's the vibes I got? Like? Yes, but then they've got California stuff all over. Yeah. If you really look for it. You've got to look for it.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
It's like such a weird mix of stuff.
Yeah.
And Anyway, enough about that. Morgan, what's your must-do table service here?
So I'm like essentially avoiding answering this question. Hear me out.
I understand.
So I put, and I feel like maybe we could have broken these down into a date night restaurant and a family style, more towards kids restaurant, because I think that those two things are distinctly different.
Yeah.
Because if I'm talking to a client that's got multiple kids and they're asking for dining reservations, my recommendations are going to be a little different than if I'm talking to somebody that's going for their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm taking my son for the first time. What do you recommend?
Jake's holding Grogu, you guys, that for people on the audio.
Yeah, he's trying to eat a frog.
I don't know. He eats frogs. I don't recommend anything.
Yeah, that's a little hard to come by.
Yeah.
Kermit, don't listen.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you got them in the same room.
I'm a monster.
You are a monster.
Oh, well.
For a date night type restaurant or I don't know. I don't know if little kids are going to love this. I know when I was a little kid, we went there and I did not care about it at all.
Where?
Hollywood Brown Derby.
Oh,
now,
okay.
as an adult who's kind of a foodie, love this restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like foodie food. It is expensive. It's got kind of a classy ambiance.
Yes.
It's got, it plays to, it's a replica of the Hollywood Brown Derby in Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's got caricatures.
Yeah. The whole vibe of it
yeah.
brings you to that old Hollywood.
Right. And so
place.
when my parents took me when I was like, I don't know, 7 or 10 or something, did not care. I didn't, you know what I mean? I remember sci-fi.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, this is my like kind of, if you don't have little kids recommendation or if you, I'm not saying they'll hate it. There's a kids menu. Yeah. I'm just saying
the
for
ambiance.
me,
I get it. Yeah. The ambiance maybe is not the best for the little ones.
But the thing, so for if you have a family, I put Mama Melrose really, because I think that serves the family and the adults, like kids and adults pretty equally. If you're really, really just trying to focus on your kids, I'd say Sci-Fi. It is my most memorable meal from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's my husband's most memorable meal from when he was in high school.
The ambiance is unbeatable.
You cannot beat that ambiance. The food, not great.
Not great.
No.
It is what it is.
It's not terrible. We had something we liked. We're going to go back and figure it out.
And we swear it.
Yeah, we swear.
But we don't remember what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and try to figure it out. But you know what I remember from every time? The ambiance.
Yeah.
It is absolutely out of this world.
And that film reel that they show up there is actually, in my opinion, super entertaining, and I would watch it the entire day.
Yeah, totally.
I love it.
It's like you're sitting in an old school car, watching at a drive-in movie theater. The ceiling makes it look like it's night or dusk.
Yeah. It's Twilight, perhaps.
Twilight. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're playing like old timey, scary, not scary,
like monster movies,
but
sci-fi movies.
The ones that were so ridiculous they weren't actually scary.
Yeah,
Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
B movies, some would say.
You whispered.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Some of those movies, they are fun to watch clips of.
Yes,
and that's about it.
Yeah.
All right.
We also love 50s primetime, but I'm not going to get into it.
All right.
This one is hard.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good contenders here.
Yeah.
All right, but we must move on. I'm full.
Yes.
Let's instead go to a spectacular or fireworks show. Now, this is the park that has multiple versions of this.
And yet.
They have, they have 2 projection shows on the Groblins Chinese Theater at the end of Hollywood Boulevard where you first walk into the park. They have 2 of those, 2 different ones, one on animation and one on the history of films at large. And then they also have a twice a night live.
Most of the time, twice a night.
Spectacular. That's right. Sometimes it is only one.
Yeah.
That is strange.
Yeah.
They have a nightly spectacular with live characters, pyrotechnics, and water effects called Fantasmic. Everybody knows about Fantasmic.
Yeah.
What did you choose?
What do you think?
Yeah.
We're both going to be choosing Fantasmic on this because it's a clear and definite
present
winner.
Danger. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it is a definite. To me, if you're not watching Fantasmic, did you really have a full Hollywood Studios day?
Right.
This is like quintessential Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
One of the few things left that truly like puts me in the 90s is
In
watching
MGM.
this show.
Yeah, I
In
agree.
MGM. Yeah. It
Yeah.
is so old school, that the Disney decade era.
Yes. And, other parks have Fantasmic, but I think the way that we have ours set up with the stadium seating.
Yep.
Thank you. Stadium seating is, to me, superior. You get to sit and watch it. You get to see, even if you're short. You don't have to put your kids on your shoulders and block other people. Like, it's just nice.
And we know that the Disneyland Fantasmic had, at one point, a full, huge, cool dragon thing.
Yeah.
So
I just mean watching
exactly.
the watching experience.
Exactly. Just the actual experience of looking at the show is like much more accessible and better and easier at ours. I totally think that makes sense, as opposed to like watching it from across the rivers of America at Disneyland.
Because you're in that same situation where the person in front of you could be blocking a lot of what you're able to see.
It's like watching the fireworks or something. Yeah.
Yeah, they had this at Tokyo and they changed it recently to a show called Believe or something.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting.
That was surprising to me. I just, when I saw that news, I was just hoping we don't lose ours.
Yeah, if a park were to lose it, it would be us probably, because we're not the originators of Fantasmic, But
I hope not. They'd have to have something else to put there.
And they just updated it.
Yeah.
Just updated. So it's,
we're at least good for a while.
Yeah, good for a while. But anyway, we recommend Fantasmic. It is really something to get out of there, to get out of that stadium at the end of the day. But if you're doing like a full one day in Hollywood Studios show business shebang, I do recommend closing your day off with Fantasmic, because the show will not leave you disappointed.
Yes, if you have to pick between those three, that's the one you should pick. If you can do that and another one, great. I guess I think that these shows aren't as good as the shows in the other parks. Hey, better than Animal Kingdom, but
yeah, but that is a bar on the floor, because they have literally zero nighttime entertainment.
Yeah.
So yes, it is better than that. But I hear what you're saying. It is definitely not. They are definitely not. Happily Ever Afters or anything like that. All right. Hollywood Studios, one of its legacies is street entertainment and parades. Every time there was a new movie, they would get a parade. And street entertainment was kind of their shindig. You walked in, it was their whole deal. Because they had the citizens of Hollywood, a director and actors and newspaper people and all kinds of people who would, stop and talk to you. But today, those people are not employed at Hollywood Studios anymore. So what is your go-to, must-do parade or street entertainment? Do you want me to start?
Yes, please. I feel like this is a trick question.
This like there is.
Hey, remember when there used to be parades and street entertainment? What is your favorite now?
Yeah, it was kind of a trick question. It was. All right, I put on here R.I.P. Citizens of Hollywood just to make sure I didn't forget. But currently, the Galaxy's Edge walk-around characters are my immersive go-to.
That's it. That's the only option there is. That's essentially what I put too.
You can run into, when you're in Galaxy's Edge and you're wandering through the land, you can run into Kylo Ren, who's got a bunch of stormtroopers. You can run into Rey, who's teaming up with Chewie to like hold down the Millennium Falcon. You can run into, as of recently, as we learned because we had a chance encounter with one Mandalorian with Baby Yoda in tow.
Yeah.
Grogu. So they're cool to run into.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
And they like the masked characters, Kylo Ren and the stormtroopers, they can like say phrases to you.
Yeah.
And interact with you while you walk by them. And Rey, it can fully interact with you, and Chewie does.
Yeah.
So it's, I think that's a really cool, like, old school Disneyland walk around character style of doing things. They do not do that very much anymore, and I love it in this land.
Yes, and we go often, and I don't think I've ever not seen one of them.
Yeah, it's really, they're on it.
There's always one of them out, I guess.
Right.
There must be, because we always see one of them. It's like not even surprising anymore to see Rey walking around.
No, you don't even question it.
Yeah.
But when I first started, I was like, She doesn't even
Yeah.
have like a character attendant. It doesn't feel like she's just
Yeah,
like.
I'm sure she does, but
I'm
yeah.
sure she does.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's like they're
Yeah.
really like roaming. They're taking kids by the hands.
Yeah.
And they're walking the entire party across the land to go to the Millennium Falcon. What?
Yeah.
That's like, we don't
I know.
normally get that.
It is
so
great.
That's
And
awesome.
I definitely know it happens all the time because I'm also the kind of person that's like shielding my face when I walk by Kylo Ren or
Yeah.
the stormtroopers because I don't want them to like pick on me.
Right. Fair
Because
enough.
they do kind of do that Citizens of Hollywood picking on people's stuff.
Yeah, they're
But-
the closest thing we've got,
Yeah.
honestly, to the Citizens of Hollywood. Is those
They'll give you a
characters.
hard time if you're wearing like a light side shirt.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
They'll say, your traitor rebellion won't stand up to the Empire. They really get
Yeah.
the grill, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
I'm like, leave me alone.
I know, you don't want to be harassed. I also put on here the little green army men in Toy Story
Oh,
because
yeah.
they are really good for, like, if you have kids that like to dance or, like, throw balls back and forth to each other, the little green army men in the blazing sun are putting on, like, a
Dance
full
party.
drumline performance, dance party, interacting with children.
If I
wish
would have
could
remembered
tip
that
them.
in that moment, I would have said that. Yeah, that's a really cool experience and
Yeah.
non-intimidating to somebody like me.
Oh, yeah. it
Yeah,
is
I'm not
very,
worried about them picking on me.
Right, approachable type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have anything mean to say.
No, they just want you to dance. Or whatever. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good one. Good one. I'm glad you remembered that because I did not.
All right. I do have a stage show here.
Okay.
If I could recommend, if I could recommend a stage show or a film to anyone visiting Hollywood Studios, my must-do is actually Muppet Vision 3D. And hear me out. I know that this isn't for everyone. I understand. But I do think everyone should be forced to experience it at least
Forced.
one time.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like they walk you there, so you have to do it first.
Right,
That's what
right.
they should do. I'm just kidding. I think Muppet Vision 3D is fun. I think the kids still laugh at the jokes. I think the 3D aspect of it is integrated really
I'm
well
always
into the
surprised
show.
at how many people are laughing at the
I
jokes.
just hit Morgan
You
with my
did.
phone. Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry to Morgan.
That's okay.
Yeah, you said you're surprised to hear everyone laughing at the jokes.
Still,
Why
because
are you surprised?
Here's
No.
why. Here's why. Because I on the rides that are low wait times,
Uh-huh.
I always now assume that it's mostly locals
Uh-huh.
because the like tourists that are coming once a year are in line for the big name rides, right? And so
Rise of the Resistance.
right. And now I've seen the show so many times that I don't laugh out loud anymore at the jokes because I
Uh-huh.
know they're coming.
Uh-huh.
But apparently, it's still laugh out loud a bowl.
I do laugh at it every time. I love the Muppets, but my agenda aside, my personal agenda aside, I do think it's like AC.
Yeah.
It is like, I think the projection like effects are integrated well into the show. I think it's cool that there's like an animatronic involved in the show, and there's a live character actor involved in the show, and there are 2 sets of animatronics and the balconies involved, and like the
Oh,
walls
yeah.
are involved. There's a lot going into it, It's cool. It's kind of like a big like Hollywood spectacular, which is like, it's in the perfect park for that.
Yeah.
So I love Muppet Vision 3D. I hope they never tear it down for Star Wars stuff.
This I agree. If anything, they could make it Muppet Star Wars.
That would be cool.
But anyway, we this park has the most stage shows, which makes it hard.
Mm-hmm.
I actually put Muppets too, but I'm going to change mine. And you're not going to like it.
I love that you put Muppets too. That makes
Yeah.
my heart really happy. Okay.
Well, if I'm going to pick one to go to, it's Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
it's
agree.
very nostalgic for me.
And it's like air conditioned, and they just
It's
replaced
lovely.
the seats in there, so they're
Yeah.
like nice now. Like
Yeah.
they're not like falling apart. So that's great.
Right.
Me advocating for this.
Please don't shut it down.
Yeah, right.
There are 3 other stage shows. One is the Frozen Sing-Along, which I'm kind of surprised you didn't mention that one.
It's
I know
my-
you like it.
It's my number 2.
Okay.
It's my backup.
Yeah.
I like it, but not as much as the Muppets. Because what I wish was in there was like an actual Frozen musical.
Yeah.
that would be really cool.
Like a mini version.
Yeah. Like a condensed.
Yeah,
You know how
and they can do that.
Yeah, like the Beauty and the Beast show, but make it Frozen.
Right. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be great. Or an ice skating show.
Oh wow.
I kind of didn't. I wonder why. Why not an ice skating?
Well, then
Frozen?
they'd have to build like a rink and everything.
Just an artificial ice rink, like the ones that tour. It's not that crazy. A lot of
Is
theme
it not
parks
crazy?
have.
I know. Yeah, Busch Gardens has an
Busch
ice rink,
Gardens
but I
has-
think they have like a full-on ice rink, huh?
They do, yeah. Theirs
Yeah.
is real and very like top of the line, I guess.
Yeah.
They like to brag about it, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, but that's the only reason I put the Frozen sing along is good, and that's the one that you picked.
No, you're not
Oh.
gonna like the one I picked.
No, that's okay. I want to hear.
It's Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's okay.
It's just very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I've been watching that show since I was young. Now, I will say, if I'm being totally honest, I don't go much now.
Mm-hmm.
It only runs like a few times a day, and it's generally too hot for me to want to sit outside.
It's in its golden years.
Yeah, but I like the Hollywoodness of it.
Yeah.
And I am sad to see the Hollywoodness phasing out of everything, so I do appreciate that it's there.
If this show were inside, we would go all the time.
Yeah.
I feel.
I agree.
I do love, especially the opening sequence of this show where they're in the temple and Indy is dodging all the traps and he's got to snatch the idol and run from the giant ball. Like, I, as a kid, was so enthralled by all of that. And then the reveal of the set change to the open air market.
Yeah.
That is so impressive.
I know. Them learning about movie magic. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's had that classic, like, Hollywood director involvement feeling.
Yes,
from
exactly.
classic MGM that you were talking about. And hey, that obviously scores points with us. But the show itself is super entertaining. It's just when they get to like the fire and stuff in the second half of that, and
It's
I'm
too
already
hot.
so hot. It reminds me of that other stunt show, the car one.
Lights, Motors, Action.
Lights, Motors, Action. When the fire would be going off in that show, and we were all sitting in that outdoor stadium, I was like,
Bleachers.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna melt away
Yeah.
right now. You know?
Yeah.
That is a good show, though. I think that, honestly, it is, a show that I would recommend that people watch.
Yeah, especially if you're going during a cooler month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one is Beauty and the Beast, but that has a double effect of the characters being a little weird and being outside.
Right. I do, yeah. It does hold a special place in my heart. I do still think people should see it, but it definitely needs an update.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Character experiences. Morgan, do you have a must-do here?
Well, I love the characters walking around Batu.
Yep. Me too.
I do get that there are places to go see characters in Hollywood studios.
Yeah.
Maybe I would go to see BB-8 or something if the line wasn't too long, but I don't know. We don't really do that much, so.
Yeah, this is not strictly a character experience, but we did find that the character interaction at Hollywood and Vine
Oh, yeah.
was cool. We did like that. We just didn't.
Especially at Christmas, but I saw the dress Minnie's wearing now, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's got some cool outfits.
Oh yeah, she does. That's a fashionable mouse right there.
Yeah, that's a good character experience.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But my number one was Batu, just because that
Okay.
experience is so awesome.
And free.
Yeah, I have a place to relax after I meet a character.
Oh, really?
I think it's really cool to relax in the Mickey Shorts Theater because all it is a theater that plays a Mickey Mouse short, and it's in the theater where Sounds Dangerous, starring Drew Carey, used to be, kind of toward the backlot section of the park. And it's air conditioned, and all they do is show the short, so it's a really nice place to just kind of be in AC for a second, light entertainment. It's nice. I mean, you could be watching Muppet Vision 3D, so I don't know what you're doing here, but I'm just saying it's a nice place to cool down and relax.
Take a nap. Is that what you mean?
You could do that in there. And then they have like a photo op when you leave the theater, and they've got like seating in there too, and it's air conditioned.
Oh,
So,
wow.
double chill spot, 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never go back there. We should check it out.
Yeah, I went back there once to see if there were any of those booth things that there used to be in that room.
The sound booth things?
Yeah, I was like looking behind curtains and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Trying to figure out where everything used to be.
Yeah, didn't you send me a picture?
Yeah, I sent you a video.
I was like obsessed with those sound booths.
I know. I was trying to get to the bottom of it for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was very, very cute.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun looking around there.
He's like, we're gonna find out where these were.
Yeah,
if they're still there.
I was curious.
Yeah.
I was curious. All right. What did you recommend?
I put Muppets. Muppets is where I go to relax. If like I'm overheating, I need a break to sit down for a little bit. To me, that's where I go.
Yeah, it is really nice for that. I also, if you feel like wandering through One Man's Dream, at the end of the One Man's Dream experience, there's a theater that either shows the One Man's Dream film. This is called Walt Disney Presents, is the name of this building. But One Man's Dream is like a short documentary about Walt Disney's life. And if that's not showing, then they're showing a preview for whatever movie
is about to come out. It's
promoting.
more often that.
It's more often that. Either way, it's kind of fun to just sit in there and watch whatever they're showing. The Disney film is pretty good. It's a little like, it's like a very condensed, like, fun little theme park show about his life. It's cute. And then the movie theater previews in here sometimes are fun.
And sometimes they've got character meet and greets for characters from movies that aren't even out yet, which is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It is a cool little preview. When Frozen 2 was getting ready to come out, we made sure to do this because their preview was showing the entire musical number sequence for Let It Go, or for Into the Unknown. Whoops, wrong movie. For Into the Unknown before the movie was out. So that was really cool. You got to like watch basically the music video for that. That was really cool to like get you excited.
Yeah, that is cool.
And it's indoors and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. You must do the restroom. You don't have a choice. So if you're going to must do the restroom, which restroom would you must do?
I put the Toy Story one.
Oh,
it's
cool.
Big and bright and colorful, like a preschool restroom.
Perfect.
But also new.
That's okay. But and also new.
Yeah.
That plays a pretty big part because the newer ones are like they're just nicer.
Yeah.
They're just nicer. I put the ones by Star Tours. They're like across from Star Tours.
The new.
Yeah, they're also new.
Do you mean so not across from the entrance, across from the exit?
Yeah,
that's that. I was going to say that
Traders
one
of Endor.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, or whatever.
There's
Tatooine Traders.
There's all kinds of restrooms right around Star Tours. There's restrooms surrounding Star Tours.
If you need to go to the bathroom,
so he's talking about the one in the middle.
I am.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's kind of hard to describe.
It's
where the photo opportunity used to be, where you could ride a speeder bike. If you were there for that. If not, it's across from the exit to Star Tours.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of good shopping destinations in the Hollywood studios. This was hard. I will tell you, I chose my must-do shopping location was Tower Hotel Gifts.
Oh,
the exit gift shop to Tower.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
It is themed.
It is themed
in AC, and it has merchandise specific to the ride that you just rode, which actually is not that common in Disney gift shops anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. You can buy like a Fez hat or like a little costume to be one of the bellhops, or you can buy a little bell. Like, that's cool.
I love all that merch. We were just talking about this before we started this because I love the maroon and gold kind of color. And they always put those colors on Tower of Terror merch because that's their color
scheme. One day
I'm
going to get that Loungefly one that looks like
the bellhop type thing.
I'm probably not because they're expensive, but hey. I do love those colors together. So that's the one that I picked. What did you pick?
I put Celebrity 5 and Dime.
Okay.
That's how you say that, right? It says 5 and 10 if you look at the thing.
I think it is 5 and Dime.
Yeah, I think so too. That is at the front, like it's along Hollywood Boulevard, like at the front of the park. That's the part that has the home goods and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just being perfectly honest because that's the kind of stuff that I buy. I love Disney home stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff too.
So I love to go in there and look at like mugs and I don't know, all kinds of
towels, all kinds of stuff. You'll be surprised by what they offer, like salt and pepper shakers and stuff.
I find it a good place to get gifts for other fellow Disney fans.
Yeah, honestly, I'll never turn down like a Disney home gift. I think those are fun. I think we've given each other like pillows and blankets and stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. Nice. All right. Every park has underrated experiences. Morgan, what's your must-do underrated Hollywood Studios one?
Mama Melrose.
Mom, that's a really good call. Mama Melrose probably is the most underrated thing in the park, huh?
Yeah, because you can always get a reservation. Not always, but you can often get a reservation on the day of,
It's true.
which is crazy to me because it's so good.
Yeah, it is. I
think I think it also has gotten a lot of hate over the years for being, I realistically being too Americanized Italian and not being authentic enough. People will say it's like the Olive Garden, but I disagree with the haters. I think it's a good place, like we mentioned before. It's got really good value.
They're not trying to be an authentic Italian.
They're not trying. Stop it, you guys. This is not Italy and Epcot. This is like
right.
a kitschy California Italian like string lights.
Abomination.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know? And it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite abominations.
My God.
While you're over there, though, my underrated experience is Muppet Vision 3D. You should know it. Yeah. Everyone should.
You're right, though. You're right.
Everybody watch it and then go to your Mama Melrose reservation, and you've had a great day.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, so at some of the Disney parks, there are walkthrough experiences and stuff that are like unique attractions that don't really qualify as like a boat ride or a whatever, you know, a thrill ride. Are there any Hollywood Studios that you think are must-dos?
Can you go first?
Yes, I picked One Man's Dream.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Walt Disney Presents, just because I was like, I think that it's cool that this exists.
Yeah, I do too.
Like a walkthrough.
Like a little museum.
Kind of museum, educational exhibit.
If you're a super Disney fan, this is something you need to do.
It's got models from the different icons from the different parks and stuff in there.
It's a teeny miniature version of the Walt Disney Museum that's in San Francisco.
Right. And that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's weird that that's in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it exists. And I also think it does try to show a little bit of like, it's got like animation and cells and stuff from his time in the movie making business to try to make it more
movie-ish.
Yeah. Which Hollywood. I appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I like it. I do think it belongs there because he was a, movie maker.
A filmmaker. An Academy Award winning one
right.
at that. Yes, of course.
Yeah, that was.
I just meant why, like, if we're gonna have a Walt Disney Museum of any kind, it's strange maybe not to put it in maybe Epcot. That maybe like at the front of Epcot, maybe that would make sense. Or like,
I actually think this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I guess he was like a filmmaker above all, huh?
Yeah, and his studios were in near LA.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm kind of on board. Yeah, all right, I can be won over.
Okay, great.
All right.
Yeah, I put that, and I also put that I don't know if this counts, but the line for Tower of Terror, if you're not riding it, is essentially a walkthrough, and I think it's a good one.
It's like a whole experience over there.
Yeah.
With an indoor portion, an outdoor portion, multiple rooms.
Yeah. The pre-show, then you're like down there in the basement and stuff like that. And if you don't want to ride it, you don't have to. You can take the functioning elevator.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying that they're not like, why don't you take the stairs up one floor?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the first time I did that when I was a kid and took what they call a chicken elevator.
Yeah.
I was like, seriously, you're putting me on an elevator?
I get it.
Yeah. Anyway.
But it is an unthemed elevator.
Yeah.
That's like well lit. But it is wild.
But you are trusting. Yeah. And I put that, even though this isn't my favorite queue, although it's certainly a fantastic queue. Because a lot of times you can, it's hard to say. You have a better chance of this having a lower wait time and being able to do it quicker than the queues in Batuu in the Star Wars area.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. That's true.
Okay.
Those are always wild.
Yes.
Okay, now when it comes to ways to get to and from the park, Hollywood Studios has a plentiful array of options. The one that I recommend that people maybe take advantage of is boat transportation.
Really?
Yeah, there's boats that take you from Hollywood Studios to the Swan and Dolphin Hotel or to the boardwalk yacht club area.
Beach Club, yeah.
Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk.
And Epcot.
And the Epcot theme park. So they've got their own little boat network there of transportation. I've taken them quite a few times, and I really enjoy them. They're not for everyone, obviously, if you're not on that little route. But if you are on one of those routes, then maybe...
Or you're going to Epcot.
Or you're just going to Epcot.
Yeah.
Then you can take advantage of maybe an underappreciated mode of transportation.
And yeah, underutilized for sure. I mean, honestly, the location to get on the boat is almost hidden. I mean, not hidden.
Yes.
It's just off the path.
When you walk out in front of Hollywood Studios on the left side, if you're facing the park, there's Movie Land, gift shop, and the park exit. And then on the right side, looking at the park, there's kind of just like a pathway and some shrubbery and a statue and stuff.
Huh.
If you walk down there in front of the topiary of Sorcerer Mickey, then you can see that there's like a boat loading dock with a little sign that says boat transportation.
Yeah.
So it is hidden back there, but just in case you were wondering where it is, that's where it is.
Yeah. It's good to know. I think a lot of people probably don't even know about it.
Yeah.
I put the Skyliner. I love the Skyliner. That'll take you to Epcot or a bunch of resorts along the Skyliner route.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I need to go into it again. We've talked about it a bunch.
No, the Skyliner is wonderful. It's a very magical form of transportation.
All right.
Speaking of magic, what's your favorite little touch of magic that you recommend that people check out at Hollywood Studios?
I just think that people need to make sure that they are in Hollywood Studios, especially the front area, and absorbing it at night. My favorite thing is the like neon light Pluto that wags his tail.
Yes.
All the lights going up and down that road.
On Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes, just really, really like warm my heart.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios for atmosphere, incredible.
Yes.
We love it. Something that I like to direct people to when they're in the park are Easter eggs for Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people have really good memories of this, and they might not even necessarily remember that they saw it as a child, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, until I bring it up to them. But when I do, and they remember, usually they're pretty pleased to see Easter eggs from it in the park, because he's kind of an unrepresented figure at Walt Disney World right now. But
yeah,
with these exceptions. There's a billboard on Sunset Boulevard for Maroon Studios, which is the cartoon studios that created Roger Rabbit in the movie. And there's also a silhouette of Roger Rabbit flying through the window blinds above the Hollywood and Vine restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is a tribute to a moment in the film where he does the same.
The original plan for MGM Studios was to have Roger Rabbit be like a central part, like the icon of that park.
Right.
So it's cool to see these Easter eggs.
Yeah, and before the Sunset Boulevard that we know today, originally that plot of land was going to be called Roger Rabbit's Hollywood, and there were going to be multiple Roger Rabbit themed attractions that kind of lined the street and would neighbor the then planned Muppet Studios area of the park, which became the Muppet Courtyard that we had for so long. But all of that ended up going away when there was a falling out between the CEO of Disney and Steven Spielberg, Michael Eisner for Disney, Steven Spielberg for Amblin Entertainment, and they got into disputes about who owned Roger Rabbit and the use of his character in theme parks. So Disney kind of pulled the plug on Roger Rabbit, and all of a sudden all of these grand plans went away. But it's cool to kind of have that history being acknowledged with these little Easter eggs.
Yeah. Totally. That's a good one.
Now, not everyone, certainly in more recent years, has seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so it's a little bit more of a nerdy thing, but there are a lot of people who remember the movie, so it might be fun for someone.
Yeah, good one.
All right. Hey, if you're into more exciting things than billboards, there are thrill attractions over at the studios as well. What's your must-do thrill attraction?
I put Rock and Roller Coaster.
Really?
Yep.
I had such a hard time between that and another one. Why
Well,
did
me
you
too.
say Rock and Roller Coaster?
Because the launch, I just think that technically it's the most probably thrilling ride in all of the Walt Disney World parks.
Yes.
It's got the like 0 to 60 in 3 seconds or whatever. Don't quote me on that. Launch, and then it's got inversions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Knock your mini ears right off your head, that one will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are things I don't like about it, but I do think it's fun. I think that you've got to do it to check it off the most thrilling ride at Walt Disney World.
Yes. And I think in your case, this walked so that Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind could run.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you appreciate it in that sense as well.
So what did you put?
I went with the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Yeah, that's the other one I was having a hard time.
Not because I don't love Rock and Roller Coaster, just because I really admire how perfectly themed every inch, every moment of this attraction is.
Yes.
Including the elevator itself, including the amazing there's even in the elevator shafts when you're dropping down, sometimes there'll be like a doll or a puppet or something in the corners just to scare you even more.
Yeah.
And then not to mention the dark ride portion of the thrill ride.
And the pre-show.
With its illusions.
Yeah.
And the pre-show. Like, it's just a very well, in the theme park universe, I think it's like a piece of art, that attraction.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it fits.
It's
better.
Ours, and that's true of Rock and Roller Coaster too. They're Hollywood Studios like originals, which is really, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, slow moving attraction. You're gonna laugh. I put Rise of the Resistance.
That's what I put.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
I put a question mark after it. Like,
Me too.
does this count?
I'm glad we're on the same page about this because sometimes it's not so slow.
And Bailey's like, oh, there's a drop.
There is a drop.
I don't.
But hey,
to
guess
me,
what? There's a drop in
drop.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So I know it's
I guess
different.
it is a drop, but it doesn't. It feels simulated to me, so I don't feel like.
Well, yeah, you are. It is kind of like there's a simulated
effect, yeah,
to make it feel like you're falling further.
Right.
Yeah, but you are falling, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rise of the Resistance is what I chose. Is this when we talk about Rise of the Resistance? Because oh boy.
Sure.
All right, because is it coming up? You know what? We can save it for the end. I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
Okay, that's what you put as well, right?
Yes.
Then let's move on to this kids attraction question.
Okay.
People have kids. What attraction must they do?
Well, I put Slinky Dog Dash. I don't know if that should does that fit?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Kids can go on that.
Yeah, I don't know what the height requirement is for it. I think that there is one.
Yes.
So if we're talking all kids, even like babies, then this would not count.
Well, hey, get your baby off that roller coaster.
But I think this is a really, really well designed kid roller coaster. That's not kid. It's not kid like Gadget's Go Coaster or Goofy's
it's not a
Sky School or whatever.
Right. It's not a kid coaster. It's a family coaster.
Yeah.
This is a 38-inch height requirement.
There you go.
Yeah, it really is impressively smooth.
Yes,
and probably the smoothest one.
Impressively designed. Oh, I think it's the smoothest one, yeah.
Yeah, impressively designed. It's got fun static characters. Almost a similar vibe to Incredicoaster. Not in spookiness, because oh my gosh, I get that Incredicoaster is a little bit more.
And
it's very intimidating. What I mean is there are static figures along the ride that kind of interact with you as you go through the ride, and in that way their layout is kind of similar, but that's about the end of the similarities. To be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, Slinky Dog Dash, good one. My other recommended kids attraction would be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Mm-hmm.
That is in the Grauman Chinese Theater at the end of Hollywood Boulevard when you first walk into the park, and it's like putting you into a Mickey Mouse cartoon where they're trying to save the day and you follow along for their misadventures while they're trying to have the perfect picnic.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cool use of trackless ride technology and projection effects. It is not my favorite ride in the park. It's not even my favorite ride that's been in the building that it's in. But I do think that kids really get a kick out of it because the cars dance you around. You see Mickey and Minnie a lot. There's some comedy gags that I think just get kids. I think kids would really love this ride. So
Yeah.
that's why I put it.
And I'm happy that Mickey got a ride. Not happy that this is it or where it is, but I'm happy that he got a ride.
Yeah, I'm happy he got a ride too. Well, hey, just because that new attraction is the way it is doesn't mean that we can't have nostalgic attractions. And there are a couple in Hollywood studios that have been around. Do you have a nostalgic attraction that's a go-to?
Yes, I put Star Tours, which I can see why somebody could want to argue with me about this because it's different now than it was when I was a kid.
Sure.
But the queue is the same. The general idea is the same.
Yeah, I put Star Tours too.
Oh, did you? Did you? Okay.
It is nostalgic because when you walk in that building, it makes you feel the same way.
Yeah.
It did all those years ago.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that it wasn't 3D when I was a kid, but it wasn't. It's just something that I didn't know that until I did the research on for the thing, and I was like, oh wow.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Just a screen.
Star Tours. Wow.
Yeah.
That ride has a really cool story. I'm glad it's still kicking.
Yeah.
I had concerns when Galaxy's Edge was announced.
Yeah, it's in a weird location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is strange. People have pointed out that it is strange.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's there. Is that your favorite queue? Is that your most recommended?
What?
Queue? Star Tours?
No.
No. What is your most recommended queue?
I put Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance? Yeah, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
There's
got
like
multiple...
2 pre-shows, yeah.
Yeah. Pre-shows is a good way to describe it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I could also, well, go, you say what you have.
I went with your earlier pick of the Twilight Zone,
Oh, okay.
Tower of Terror.
I also would have an argument for Millennium Falcon too.
Yes.
I think that both of those newer Star Wars rides have just absolutely amazing thought out queues and pre-shows.
I agree.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say the same thing for your next question. So
yeah, for pre-show. Yeah, they are both incredible pre-shows. I actually have the same Rise of the Resistance or Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
The Muppet Vision 3D pre-show is incredible, but not as incredible as any of the things going on in these two Star Wars-y situations.
They really went over the top with the pre-shows, the queues, putting a bathroom in the queue. Like I'm really impressed with how well they thought it out instead of we thought about every detail on this amazing ride. Now here's a switchback line that you have to stand in for 2 hours.
Nobody
they really
likes that.
Yeah, they thought it out.
I agree.
Oh man. Go ahead.
Animatronic?
Yep. Go ahead.
I put Kylo Ren.
Okay. Dang. Okay.
Oh, is that what you had?
No, I meant to look up the name of this guy so I didn't sound like an idiot.
Oh.
Do you know?
Oh, Naka.
Anyway.
Hondo.
Thank you. That is right.
Hondo.
You knew what I was talking about and I didn't even say anything. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's so cool.
Oh, he's so amazing.
And we've talked about how cool he is a couple times. So I know what you mean.
Jaw-dropping. Like,
yeah.
I think it helps that he doesn't have, like, the feature, like, all the features of a human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's where they mess up is when they try to do Ariel and the human face. It just doesn't work out for them.
Although, the human attractions in Rise of the Resistance, in my opinion, are very impressive.
Yeah, which ones?
I think they look good. The Kylo Ren one, because he doesn't have a face.
Yeah.
Easy. But I even think the one of Finn, who's like the undercover stormtrooper.
Yes, but he's not talking. I think that helps.
Oh, is he not?
No, so
I get it.
Remember when we talked about this so long ago, but remember when we were talking about how he's got the same movements as the alien scene from Great Movie Ride, where he's just standing there with a gun, like looking scared, like she did. Sigourney Weaver. I don't know.
Yes.
What's her name? It doesn't matter.
Ripley.
Oh, good job.
Yes.
That's right. You know.
Oh, I think that might be wrong.
Oh, you don't know.
No,
never mind.
I sure did give it a shot, though.
That sounds right.
Right? Doesn't that sound right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with it.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie. I saw parts of it when I was a kid, got scared of it, didn't watch it again, so that's where we're at.
To us, alien means, that part of the Great Movie Ride.
where the alien goes
Don't let my
down.
husband hear me say that because he loves those movies. But to us,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That's what it is. That
Okay?
section of
Alright.
Great Movie Ride. Remember? Oh my gosh, the alien's gonna like drool on
Throw
you.
your stones in the comments. It's our truth. Okay.
Anyway, he does the same thing she does, where they're just standing there, kind of almost
Yes.
static, like just barely moving.
Sweating. They're
Yes,
both
sweating.
sweating. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought they might be the same. I'm not gonna say
We
that
wondered.
word. Yeah, if it could be the same animatronic just with different clothes on or
I'm
whatever.
not gonna say that word.
Now you have to say it.
No, de-skin.
Yes, de-skinned.
Okay.
Um.
I understand why that terminology
Anyway,
is unnerving.
remember she was good too, but I think it was because she's not like talking or anything.
Yeah, she was limited range.
Yeah.
She like just had to like turn her head a little bit.
And the worst aerial animatronic is the one that's trying to sing.
Yeah, that is actually so true.
The one that's just trying to dance is all right.
I know.
They can do like a static face, okay?
Now that
I
I've
don't know.
seen these new like motorized faces that we're getting in Tiana's Bayou Adventure,
right,
and in the new dark rides that are opening
in Hong Kong
around the
or not
world
Hong Kong, Tokyo.
and in Tokyo
Yeah.
Disneyland, it makes me look at those animatronics and think,
what?
Whoa, wow, it's crazy how fast we've come so quickly. All right. Now, if you had to recommend that everybody dawdle around in a land, which land would you recommend that they stick around in for a while?
I guess I'm gonna say Batu.
Batu, yeah.
There's one really, really solid ride. There's one pretty good ride.
Yes.
There's the place that I would suggest for quick serve, and there's good shopping, good character experiences. There's good details everywhere.
Yeah, it is like a complete like package of a land.
Yeah.
And now that they're really now that they're doing more of the free roaming droids, have you seen that?
Yeah.
I think it like is bringing it to a place of being like the best theme park land we have, maybe.
I agree. Most detailed, you mean?
Yeah.
Like, and
most complete experience.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, from costumes to just everything is in theme, you know, it seems.
Yes.
So that's really, in my opinion, awesome. I picked, like, I mean, honestly, I feel that the front of the park is kind of its own thing. But if I had to pick one portion of that to spend time in, I would say Sunset Boulevard, just because I feel like it's got some headliner attractions in there.
Sure.
Some good entertainment.
Yeah.
The finale of your day at Fantasmic. Great shopping locations along the sides.
Mm-hmm.
A terrible strip of quick serve.
Yeah, I don't eat there.
So maybe just don't eat there. But it's also got a lot of charm from the original, you know, kind of vision of the park left.
Yeah, sure.
And it comes alive in a different way at nighttime because the Tower of Terror is illuminated.
Yeah.
And I just really, really enjoy Sunset Boulevard, and I would definitely spend time there happily any evening.
Yeah, and during the Christmas season, there's Snoke.
Don't get me started. That's one of my favorite places to be, is on that street at Christmas time. Cup of hot chocolate.
Yes.
Ready to go.
Yes.
But
I'm
Batu,
I realize we're not even like halfway there, but
after we about a weekend ago we had the hottest weekend of the year, I think, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're ready for
when it gets like that. I'm like, okay, bring on Christmas.
Well, let's go. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, it's time for the big whammy question. If you could recommend people experience one attraction in Hollywood Studios, which one would you send them on? Yes, they can even skip the line with Disney Genie Plus.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
You picked that too, right?
Yeah. Oh boy, Rise of the Resistance.
If you didn't somehow magically get it for free, I would even say it's probably worth paying for if you're a tourist coming for like a week here or there. You can get an individual lightning lane for like, I don't know, $12, $15. It depends on the day.
Yep, they changed it.
Yeah. But if it's that or wait in line 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
as a local, we don't do it.
It adds up for families.
Yes.
You know, so that is something to consider. But if there is one attraction that I would recommend you must experience to understand the full scope of what a Disney ride could be.
Yeah.
I think right now at Walt Disney World, I think it's Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got everything.
Yeah. So for those reasons, I think if you're gonna do Disney Genie, and do an individual lightning lane for one ride at Hollywood Studios, this would be the one.
Yeah.
That I would recommend.
Yeah. All right.
That's it. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
We went on Rise of the Resistance. That was great.
Yeah.
We saved the rebellion again.
Make sure on your way out of Hollywood Studios that you turn around and spend a moment appreciating the lights, the ambiance, the Chinese theater at the end of the road. Like that strip, those moments I take to really just like look at how beautiful it is and the setting, that's like important.
It is. I agree. It really is. That's really nice. It's true. It brings you it brings you a lot of appreciation for all of the creativity and the vision that went into making it what it is.
Yes. Yes.
It's such a transportive place.
Yes.
To be if you do that, if you appreciate the details. And you take in the music that they're playing. Yeah. It really paints a picture.
Yeah, don't just rush out to your car and not look back, because you'll really miss that beautiful, like, I don't know, that the look of that strip all the way down to Chinese theater from the front at night, like that's it for me. That's Hollywood Studios. That's
spotlights
MGM
in the sky behind it.
Yeah.
One last look for sure.
Yeah.
Here's looking at you, kid. If you've enjoyed the episode, thank you so much for listening along with us. We appreciate it. Hooray for Hollywood and hooray for you. If you would like to follow us on social media, we would love to have you along for the journey. On Instagram and on TikTok, we're at Neverland Navco, and you'll find all kinds of things from dining, shopping, trivia, history from the parks, whatever you can imagine. It's right over there at our socials, and we'd love if you would come say hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also have an Etsy store. It's on Etsy. You just search Neverland Navigation. That's the name of the store. And that is also where you will get your free t-shirts from if you let me, as a travel agent, help book your next trip to wherever. I do cruises, Disney trips, Universal trips, Vegas, if you're doing that.
Ooh, all right. Muppets Take Vegas.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com. Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. Well, hey, until our next picture, we'll see you on
our next adventure.
Bye-bye.